So the episode starts out with Mira and Bran trying to escape the White Walkers. Of course, the Whites catch up to them, and as we saw in the trailer, Benjen Stark comes and saves the day. We all knew that was going to happen. The interesting part about this scene were Bran's visions. So one of the first flashbacks we get involved the Mad King. We hear him yell, "Burn them all," and then Jaime stabs him in the back. You might not have caught it, but we also got an image of Jaime sitting on the Iron Throne, and it looked a little creepy to say the least. Bran also got to see the death of his mother and father, which probably wasn't too fun for him, but not much else going on there, so let's move on. I thought this was very interesting. We got to see the birth of Daenerys' dragons again, and they showed us a glimpse of what looks to be like dragons flying over a city. It looks like it could be King's Landing, but there's really no way to tell. But I think we can assume that this is not a vision of the past, but rather the future when Daenerys finally makes her arrival in Westeros. You can also see that the city is on fire, meaning that the dragons are gonna fuck shit up. In another revealing vision, we saw the stash of wildfire beneath King's Landing and the ensuing explosion that occurs. Maybe one of the workers fucked up and dropped a vase, but I think it's more likely that the wildfire is deliberately set off to stop the White Walkers. Or, I think it's possible that the dragons set it off when they attacked King's Landing. No one really knows, but I'm pretty sure this is a vision of the future. Take a look at this picture. To me, it looks an awful lot like young Ned's armor. I think this is the next part of the Tower of Joy where he finds Lyanna dying from some kind of wound. My best guess is that the cut is from a C-section to save baby Jon Snow. I think it's also possible that Ned was the one who performed the C-section at the request of his sister. So in the next scene, we see Tommen and the High Sparrow talking, and he brings Tommen to see Margaery. She is set to do her Walk of Atonement, but she starts saying that the High Sparrow has helped her see the light, and that we all need to atone for our sins. But don't be fooled. Margaery is great at bullshitting and manipulating to get what she wants. And there's no one easier to manipulate than Tommen. The guy is just way too naive and foolish. Next, we finally get to meet Sam's dad, Randyll Tarly, and although the guy does bring up some good points, he's still a major asshole. During dinner, Randyll Tarly brings up Heartsbane, the Valyrian steel sword that has been in the family for 500 years. He also says Sam will never get to wield it, which pretty much just gave away that Sam will wield it at some point. I just didn't think it would happen in the very next scene. Heartsbane will definitely come in handy in the near future for Sam. So I was very surprised when Arya actually poisoned Lady Crane's drink, but as you saw at the very last second, she knocks over the glass and alerts the good woman to the girl who wants her dead. This pretty much marks the end of Arya's association with the Faceless Men, and she retrieves Needle and sets up camp next to a wall. The waif is sent by Jack and Hagar to kill Arya, and we will definitely be seeing them duking it out. I think Arya wins that fight, and remember when Jack and Hagar said this?
One way or another, a face will be added to the hall.
To me, he's saying that the Faceless God doesn't care whose face gets added to the wall. We might even get the pleasure of seeing Arya performing some surgery on the waif in the next couple of episodes, if the Faceless God really doesn't care about who dies. Back in King's Landing, Mace Tyrell and his troops meet up with Jaime Lannister to take back the city. It looks as if the High Sparrow is about to back down, but he starts to smirk and you just know it's all over. Tommen comes out, and it's clear that he's totally whipped by Margaery, as he declares that the Crown and the Faith have made an alliance. He even orders Jaime to go take back the Riverlands from the Blackfish. In the next scene, Walder Frey berates Lame Lothar and Black Walder for allowing the Blackfish to take Riverrun. Edmure Tully is then brought out from captivity, and Walder Frey tells the two to use him as a hostage. Then Jaime and Cersei talk for a little, and we get to see some more incest. Benjen also reveals himself to Bran and Mira, and has Bran drink some rabbit blood for reasons unknown to me. In the final scene, we get to see the Khaleesi, and I thought it was funny how Daario concluded that they needed 1,000 ships to sail to Westeros.
Build me 1,000 ships, and I will give you this world.
Daenerys rides her dragon again, and it's definitely gotten a lot bigger since we've last seen it. Maybe we'll even get to see her sailing to Westeros by the end of the season, as she seems more focused than ever on making it happen. Thanks for watching, guys. Like if you enjoyed this content, as it really helps me out, and subscribe for more videos.